All right, so in the last video, we showed you how you can create dozens and hundreds of ads using our NAN automation and Nano Banana. And in this video, we're going to show you how you can get more consistent aspect ratios using Nano Banana. You know, it's a great image generator, and there's a lot of things you can do with it, including editing your images. But one thing that it doesn't always do very well is creating specific images with like the layouts that you want. So typically it will give you like a 1-to-1 aspect ratio or I believe a 9:16 aspect ratio, like a tall aspect ratio, but it really doesn't do a very good job typically of giving you like 16:9. And what's funny is that Imagen actually will give you the exact image ratios that you want. It just doesn't let you edit things. So, I went through a couple of experiments to see how well I could get it to give me the type of aspect ratio that I wanted. And some people were talking about taking a transparent image and using that as the reference for the aspect ratio. And I tried that and it didn't really work that consistently for me. But I did try something that actually seemed to be working pretty well. And so I'm just going to show you what we're doing here. So let's take a look and let's use some of the images that we created from the last video to show you what I'm talking about. And what we did was we created two different types. We created product ads with text and product ads without text, so we could actually work with them and use them for different things. And so I like this one, and I also like this one. And so let's just use this one for now and see how we can get Nano Banana to actually give us the aspect ratio that we want. Now this is a 1-to-1, but let's say that we actually want a 16:9, so like a letter form or a long, not letter form, but like a rectangular style image. So typically what people have been saying is, yeah, if you use the reference photo, 16:9, and then you use the actual image, you can get Nano Banana to give you what you want. I didn't really find that worked really well, but what I did find worked pretty well was taking that reference image, okay? Taking that reference image that you have that has the aspect ratio that you want, and then placing your image, right? The image that was generated inside of that reference image, and then using that as its own reference image to tell Nano Banana what kind of aspect ratio that you want. So we did it with this, right? So the image prompt was a bicycle in front of a cafe with flowers in the windows, okay? And so if we go ahead and go to the Nano Banana site, and then we go and click on history, you can see the project that we worked on here. And what we did was we basically just uploaded an image of, let's go to the beginning. We basically just generated the image first, okay? And then as we scroll down, we actually added the image, the generated image, to a white background, and that did not actually work, right? I think Nano Banana was basically looking at the filled pixels and saying, well, if that's the image you want, well, here you go. It's pretty much the same thing. But then what we did was we actually went ahead and uploaded a transparent PNG. So this is a JPEG, right, which doesn't contain transparency, but this is a PNG. So these gray areas are technically transparent pixels, okay? And so then what we did was our prompt was, based on the reference image, generate an image of whatever our original prompt was. Sort of a bicycle in front of a coffee shop that has flowers in front of the windows, okay? And the aspect ratio should be 16:9. You can include that. I'm not sure whether Nano Banana is actually going to look at that, but it doesn't hurt. And then this was the original or the final image, okay? It was basically Nano Banana filling in the rest of the photo, which is really, really cool. So let's go ahead and see if we can actually recreate this. And we're going to start a new image generation. And we're going to go to our image here, okay? And let's go ahead and we're just going to open it up with our editing software. You can use Photoshop. I believe you can even, I'm sure you can use Canva with this as well. But let's just go ahead and open it with the software that we use on a regular basis. And this is something that can really help you when you're trying to get your images the right way. So, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to basically resize the canvas so that this image is in the middle of a 16 by 9 or 1920 by 1080 pixels image or reference. So 1920, and then we want it to be, we want to unlock that. We want to make it in the center. And then this is going to be 1080. All right. And now what we're going to do is we're going to resize it. And as you can see, it put it right in the middle. Okay. And so now what we can do is we can export it, and we're going to export it as a PNG because we want those pixels to be transparent. All right, now we're going to go and we're going to see how well this works within the Google AI Studio. We are going to go to our our image here. All right, so what we're going to do is here is that image, right? And it's in the middle of the transparent image. And we are going to simply go ahead and drag and drop this. Now, this is going to be interesting because this was a generated image, and we can go ahead and probably find the original, but we're just going to say based on this reference photo. Actually, what we can do is we can just use what we've worked on before, and we're going to say based on the reference image, generate an image. Let's just copy and paste this. It's a little bit faster. Sometimes the text box isn't that responsive. So, okay, so let's get rid of that. So based on the reference image, generate an image of a construction worker with a drill next to the Jackery power station. All right, and then we're going to leave the aspect ratio should be 16 by 9. Now, the one thing that we're not doing is that we didn't actually use the original prompt, and I don't know if that's going to affect it. I don't think it should because we already have a reference image. So let's just see if this actually works. Okay, generate an image of a construction worker with a drill next to the Jackery power station. Aspect ratio should be okay. So let's go ahead and run this. Typically, I found that the 16 by 9 aspect ratios were working pretty consistently. And this is our original. And then this is the final one. And as you can see, it actually did a pretty good job of filling in the rest of the details. Okay. We could probably do a 9 by 16, and I'm sure if you had like a similar format to your image, it works as well. But this is a very easy way of being able to generate different aspect ratios, at least the 16 by 9, right? Different aspect ratios with Nano Banana.